Aloha artists, Miss Maggie here. So excited to make art again with you this week. This week we are going to create self-portraits. Self-portraits are when you draw a picture of yourselves. Artists around the world have drawn and painted pictures where the focal point, the main subject of the artwork is a person. So many beautiful drawings and paintings have been created in this way. And sometimes the artist makes a portrait of themselves. It's a picture that shows us what the artist looks like and tells us about who they are. So that is what you are going to create today. Here's the supplies that we are going to need. The first supply we're going to need is a small drawing paper. Just one, a small drawing paper. And you're going to need a pencil and an eraser. And you're going to need some colored pencils. They can look different than mine, but today we're going to use colored pencils. And you're going to need one more supply, but you don't have to go get it right now. You're going to need a mirror. If the mirror is attached in your bathroom, that's fine. If you've got a little mirror that you can hold like this, that's also fine. Right now, I want you to go get the supplies that you need. That's one small piece of paper, a sharpened pencil, eraser, and colored pencils. Don't worry about the mirror yet. Just pause this video and go get those supplies. Are you back with all your supplies? Great. Now, we have one question that we need to consider for creating our self-portraits. This question is, what makes you, you? That is what artists express in a self-portrait. Today we're going to be figuring out how to express in the self-portrait what you look like so that you can draw what makes you, you on the outside. But I also want you to think about how you can put who you are on the inside into this artwork too. Maybe that's in how you color, maybe it's in the background, maybe it's in the clothes you draw yourself wearing. Think about how you're going to make this self-portrait express who you are. So when we draw, we don't want to just start in all over the place. We want to stop and think about three things. We're going to think about one, where are we going to draw on the paper? Where do we want to start? Two, what line are we going to draw? How is it going to go? You can even practice in the air. And three, what size are we going to draw it? If you draw something too small or too large, it's going to make things funky later on. So where? I'm going to want my paper to be vertical. And so tall, not sideways, vertical. And I'm going to start with an oval. And what size? Well, if I make my oval really small, it's going to be hard to see my face. If I make it so big I'm going off the edge, I'm not going to fit my hair on there. So I'm going to make it so that it takes up most of the space, but it's going to be up near the top. I'm practicing with my finger. So I figured out where up in the top part, it's going to be an oval that I draw, and it's going to be almost the size of the paper. This oval that I draw, it might not be perfect. I'm kind of sketching it out. And here's the thing also, if you think your head is more round, then make it more of a circle. If you think your head is very long, make it so that this is you. See how my lines are sketchy? It's not perfect. I'm not even worrying about erasing my lines though. I'm just getting them in there.
Next, let's add our eyes.
So to draw my eyes, I need to think about where they are on my head. Let's see. Well, they're not at the very top of my head because that's up here. You know what? This would be a perfect time to go look in a mirror and really notice as much as we can about where our eyes are on our face and also the rest of the details that make us up who we are.
So let's take a look. I think there is as much of my head above my eyes as there is below. My eyes are in the middle.
Anytime we're going to draw realistically, it helps to look at the real thing. That's why you need a mirror. And so I went into the bathroom and I looked closely. I traced all the lines that I saw on my face. I looked at the shape of my eyes and noticed, are they circles? Are they ovals? Oh, I think they're kind of almond shaped. I looked at my eyebrows. I looked at what sort of lines make up my nose. Noses are interesting. Look at the lines that you see and you're going to trace them with a finger. Notice your mouth. How does it change when you smile? Trace the lines that you see in that. And then the shape of your face, the shape of your hair. Can you see your ears? Some people's hair covers their ears. Sometimes mine does. And the shape of my neck coming down. It comes right down kind of from the sides, edges of my eyes going down. So I'm noticing all that so I can think about that when I am drawing. Now it's your turn. Go look in the mirror and practice finding the lines that express what you look like. Find the details that make you you, both on the outside and on the inside too. The world is a beautiful place because each and every one of you are one of a kind. So show that in your self-portrait. Okay, you all back from looking at your fantastic selves in the mirror? Wonderful. Now, we're going to get drawing.
We found out that our eyes are in the center of our head. So see how I'm using my fingers to measure where the center is? I'm drawing a guideline across the center. You want this to be so light you can hardly see it.
And so that I can get the guidelines right, my face, I'm going to do a vertical line too. Super light. Okay. So this is going to help us put our eyes in the right spot. What line are you going to use to express your eyes? My eyes are sort of like almond shapes. And now I'm gonna think about what size. Should I make the eyes that big? Let's think realistically. I know for my eyes, my eyeball is about that big and there's the same amount of space between my eyes and also kind of on either side of my head. So I'm gonna decide that if my eyes are that big, I can take that much space, right, like that, and that much space there, like that, and then draw my almond. My lines might not be perfect. I'm sketching them in, getting in the lines that I like, keeping the ones that I want. And then let's do eyebrows. Eyebrows are up above. Think about the shape of your eyebrows that you noticed. And think about what emotion you want to have, because eyebrows, they show a lot of emotion. I put in eyebrows right away though, because our nose kind of comes down from our eyebrows. So if I have my eyebrows in, I can follow this line down. And so goes down, down, down. And then I'm going to do my nostrils. What sort of lines did you see for your nostrils? Some people have big nostrils, some people have big noses, some people have small noses. Put in the sort of nose that expresses you. Some people have a little bump there. Let's put a little bit more into the eyes so that they look more real. I'm going to put in the eyeballs, and I decided my person's going to be looking this way. I like to have my people looking to the side. So I've got the outside of my eye and the inside of my eye there. And these parts I'm going to color in a little bit, shade it in. And then down here, I have where my mouth can go, halfway between the chin and the nose. And I'm going to think back to when I looked in the mirror, what sort of lines did I notice? And I'm going to have myself smiling. I could see my upper lip has a little bit of shape right there. And I could see that when I was smiling, I had little lines right there. Everyone is different. And I noticed when I was in the mirror that I had a little bit more of a chin than this oval has. So you can adjust. You can be like, okay, this oval's not quite what I want. I want more of chin and I want more cheeks. I'm gonna do a little bit of that. And then I'm going to do ears and hair. In my picture, my hair covers up my ears mostly, but you can see they're there and they're right in line with my eyes. So if my ears are going to be in here, they're going to be like this. If you have short hair, probably can see the ears. And then I'm going to think about what shape my hair was. For hair, I'm going to think about shape and then I'm going to think about texture. And so I know that I have a part in the center and it comes down and it kind of covers the hair, and it kind of covers the ear. And it goes down like this. Same thing on the other side. But my head is floating in space. We can't have that. I'm going to draw my neck. Do you see how from the eyes comes right down to where the neck is? Edge of the eyes comes down. Edge of the eyes comes down. Make the neck. Make it kind of a nice little curve. And then shoulders. What sort of clothes are you going to be wearing? I'm wearing a tank top. I'm going to do that. If you want to get creative with your clothes, go ahead. Oh, I've got my earrings on. Might have those coming out there a little bit. I'm adjusting my lines. Did you see how I haven't even used my eraser yet? Well, sometimes I use it sooner, but this really is about drawing, not erasing. I think I do have some lines I want to get rid of though. Like I don't need that line in down the middle of the face. I don't need that line going that way. I covered over the top of the head. See how the hair is sitting on the head? And I covered up part of the ear. And I think the ears are going to get covered over for me. And I think I'm going to bring the hair coming down a little farther there too. And I can add some texture to the hair if I want now. Everyone is different, right? Figure out what you want to do to make yours look like you. What I'm doing is I keep looking and going, well, what can I do to make my drawing look more real? What can I do to make my drawing look more like me? I think that line didn't make it look like me. And okay. What do you think so far? Is it coming along? I think it needs some color. So now that we're going to color, let's find the colors that are going to help color our self-portraits. You might not have a perfect skin tone color, but really we have lots of colors in our skin. Pick out all the colors that you think might be useful to blend together. I've got a peach and a tannish yellow color and a brown for that. But before I start coloring, I want to look at something. With colored pencils, I want to pay attention to if I'm going hard or soft, if I am going in the same direction, and I also want to look at how I can blend. On a scrap piece of paper, try this out yourself. See
if you can use the colored pencils, hard and soft. Pay attention to the direction, stay in the same direction, in other words, and also try blending, because then you can do this on your drawing. You can decide where to have more of which color, where to use your color pencil hard, where to have it soft, and how to fill it in an even way. That's what going in the same direction most of the time helps with. And so it helps it so that everywhere is filled in evenly and you don't really see your marks unless you want it to. For hair, think about it as a shape that's sitting on the head. Think about the shape, and then later you can think about what texture the hair has. I keep looking back and looking at all the different details that I have in the whole self-portrait and what colors I want to add just because I like them as well. Go for it. Put your personality into this work of art. Express who you are in how you finish this piece off. Remember to color the background. Remember to have the color pencil be really just about everywhere. Create a self-portrait that you are proud of.
Here's my finished self-portrait. What do you think? Now, when you are all done with your self-portrait, this is going to be your reflection question. I would like to know what details you put into your self-portrait that express who you are. I can't wait to see your self-portrait when it's all done. So, the next video that I have right underneath this one on the website is how to take a quality photograph of your artwork so that you can share it back with me, your teacher, and your class. So when you're all done, remember to watch that video too. It's how you're going to share your artwork back with us. When you're all done with your art, remember, all those colored pencils, they need to get put away. Put your art supplies back exactly the way they were. Take care of them, and they'll be ready to make more art with you next time, and so will I. Ahoy ho!